All right, this is a video about the multidisciplinary spectrum. This is something I've been working on for quite some time, and I've been doing a lot of updates to it, so I wanted to make a new video to explain it all to you. Going off to the start, we have the multipotentialite, who are pluripotent, meaning they can apply themselves to many different areas at the potential of many different things. And so I feel like that is a great start to this spectrum because it allows you to think, okay, I have the potential to do a lot. Now, we want to be careful not to become a gentleman scholar or a dilettante, meaning we just learn for the sake of learning and not do anything with the knowledge. Once you have started to get a decent amount of novice or adept skill in a lot of different areas, you then kind of level up to this jack of all trades, which allows you to really kind of start spreading yourself out. If you master one area while still being a jack of all trades, you become T-shaped, and oftentimes either you go down this path of being multidisciplinary, or you might become a specialist. You might find something by going wide, and then you find that one thing that you're really good at, like Roger Federer did, where he went wide and then became a specialist. Now, if you end up becoming a nanotechnology specialist or something like that, biotechnology, you become this dual specialist, front end and back end too, full stack. So you have the T-shaped or dual specialist at this kind of stage. Going farther along, we have the expert generalist, which is more so the T-shaped person, but with multiple areas in the medium level. The generalist is many different areas in the medium level. So you're almost this proto-polymath. You have multiple expertise at a journeyman level, if you will. And then once you have become a deep specialist in 3 or more areas, you have become this polymath. And that is the word that I have chosen for this channel. That's the word that I think is the most interesting. That is someone with 3 or more expertise at a deep level, as well as an insatiable curiosity. And you notice how I kind of moved this over during the call even too, because I wanted to make sure that I actually put this in the right place. So I'm still editing it even as we talk. Now, down here at the end, you can kind of ignore some of these other ones here. Let's zoom out a little bit more. The omnimath is just a concept. It is someone who knows all. It is something that's basically kind of impossible to become, but I wanted to kind of give something at the other end. The universalist polymath, however, on this end is like Da Vinci. When people think of polymath, they think of Leonardo da Vinci, but he is more so a universalist polymath, someone who has 15 or more literally deep level expertise. And so I feel like that is a much better explanation as to what someone like him would be. And so this idea that you could be multi-expert and then still have a place to level up, I think is really motivating, at least to me. And then down here, something I've been messing with, the niche polymath is something that I came up with because while having multiple expertise in one particular field, like let's say you are astrobiology, astrophysics, it's all underneath that astronomy circle. You're still a multi-expert, but you're more in that niche of astronomy. And so that's kind of like this hyper specialist. You started getting down to a PhD. You might have done your master's in astrobiology, but then you did your PhD in astrophysics or something like that. And so you become this hyper specialist or niched polymath. And so this whole spectrum here is one of those things where I think a lot of people could get a lot out of it by just seeing what that scale can be and what it means for them to level up to polymath. I think that everybody can become one down the line. I think that over the course of your life, even if you chose to be a specialist, every decade you might change what you're doing and end up becoming a dual specialist and a tri-specialist. And then by the time you're 50, 60, or 70, you end up becoming a polymath. You can become one sooner if that's what you chose to do. But if you weren't planning on doing that, then it happens kind of more naturally towards the end of your life. There are different terms here. There's even some that we haven't talked about as much. But I feel like the way that this has been organized is based on the level of expertise and the amount of expertise that you have. The potential to do many different things is not the same as have done those different things. The jack of all trades is not a master of none. That's the thing that people get confused about. But oftentimes people still attribute a jack of all trades with a lower level of knowledge in many different areas. I don't necessarily think that is true. You can be a jack of all trades polymath, and that's kind of the same thing. But in this scale, it's easier to represent the jack of all trades as someone with a novice level and maybe 12 different expertise. So really spreading himself out, trying the different cookies, and basically once you have found a cookie you like, you start to stick to it more. And then you learn how to make it, and then you can bake more. So my point is, that is kind of a start. once you find one thing that you're really good at, but you still want to be wide, you're T-shaped. If you find one thing that you're good at, but you want to stick to just that and you drop everything else, you're a specialist. That's the difference between a specialist and a T-shape. They continue their multiple expertise, whereas they just focus all their time on the one thing. And then eventually they might split off to two things. And the difference between a T-shape and expert generalist is the level of knowledge in those extra areas. So let's say a T-shaped has one specialty, but many different areas at a novice level. Well, the expert generalist is maybe more adept or journeyman level in many different areas, whereas they have one particularly deep skill. Maybe two, but I think that's kind of getting into the weeds of things. The generalist, on the other hand, is medium across the board. So they took the jack of all trades, ran with it, and they just leveled up everything. They might have gone from 12 areas of expertise down to like 6, but that's still multiple different expertise. And then eventually, 3 of those expertise will become your more defiant traits and more things that you're actually deep knowledge into, and that's what becomes the polymath. Now, this spectrum is by no means complete, and I'm still going to work on what the quantifying markers are for each term. But if you have any ideas, comments, or other terms that I have missed, I think I got most of them here, even in the parentheses. But if there's anything you think I missed, please leave a comment down below, and thanks for watching.